every historical event has elements that are unique and elements that are less unique, that are not unique, that are not peculiar to that particular event. And often we can understand something better if we can understand that difference between what's unique and we've already seen this before. Okay, so what does that mean? A, what do we learn? And B, once we can figure out what's new, then we can perhaps understand the event a little better. But you're right, people are absolutely fascinated by conspiracies. But let me give an example here of how historians can take these kinds of, this fascination with conspiracies to ask a useful question. I'll use the film The Conspirator, which has an appropriate title for this conversation, which was a very popular film directed by Robert Redford, came out about a little over a year ago. And it's about Mary Surratt, who was or was not involved in the conspiracy to assassinate Lincoln. It's good film. I'm not a film critic, but I'm told it's good film. It's a character study. It's a character study of two people, Mary Surratt herself and the attorney who defends her. Nowhere in the film are we told that Mary Surratt, the center of this story, was a slaveholder. Does that matter? So imagine the opportunity for historians to ask that question. That's the historical question in this case. Here is a film about the Civil War era, about whether or not someone had a role in the assassination of Lincoln, and they never tell you that she owned slaves. Does it matter? Why does it matter? That generates a conversation about slavery, about the role of slavery in the Civil War. It might generate a conversation, I don't know, it might generate a conversation about whether or not you can fully understand a character. And this takes us back to your question about Wilkerson and other journalists who have written history in a particular way that emphasizes character. What do you need to know about somebody to understand their character? Is it possible to understand the character of someone who owned other human beings without knowing that they owned other human beings? It's an interesting question. That's the historical question that one asks, say, about Jefferson when one thinks about the Declaration of Independence. The historical fact that we teach in our schools, for good reason, is that Thomas Jefferson is the main author of the Declaration of Independence. That's a fact to memorize. One of the historical questions is, does it matter that Jefferson owned slaves? The answer can go in a lot of different directions, but that's a question that a historian is going to ask.